In education, the introduction of one-to-one model consists in the distribution of portable computer equipment to students and teachers in an individual way, so that each one acquires an unlimited direct access to the information technology in a simultaneous way that gives rise to a link between themselves and with other networks in a time that reaches the school attendance.
The one-to-one model also has similarities and differences with respect to the computer model in the classroom educational use that was popularized in some jurisdictions of Argentina in the last decade, with an integrated objective in which the teacher had a central role. The individual use of the equipment allows continuity to tasks inside and outside the school. In the following classes facilitates the didactic quest sequences, the evaluation of processes. In fact, that all young people have a team of produce content in digital format allows resources to be easily exchanged, as well as the production of draft and file. The advantages of the one-to-one model is that the students learn in the fast and more continuous way since the individual has the possibility of being in contact with a computer all day in this have a more progressive learning. In the parents can participate in student work, visit them daily, participate in their academic progress.
The teacher in charge of the classroom is the only one who can operate this type of transformation. That is to say, he is the operation of any educational change. The teacher generates the change and graduates the use of equipment according to their own objective, their personal training, and the reality of his class. And also the teacher will progressively use the equipment as he can more familiarity with the technology and will incorporate them increasingly in his classroom practice. The transformation of education with TICs are deeply linked to didactic lines that the teacher have been developing with transformation that the school is carrying out, such as constructivism, social constructivism, among others.
In a classroom, one by one, most of the tasks of consumption and production can be done with digital supports. The activities of the students, the text of the teachers, the bibliography, the slogans can be carried out on the screen, saved and moving files. A content is digital when it is readable on a computer support such as, for example, on a screen. However, the digital condition does not imply content quality. There are good and bad, simple and complex, old and new, that come from books or that were created directly in digital format.
The first stage is described as the exploration of a new possibilities offered by technologies for learning, development of new skills and the understanding of the role that TICs can play in the classroom. The second stage is aimed at perfecting personal skill, the incorporation of EST into teaching and development of classroom practice that integrate learning technologies. The third stage involves the development of advanced skill, exploration of innovation possibility for the use of technology, class, and the possibility of sharing knowledge and skill with others.
Teaching with digital educative content. A content is digital when it is readable on a computer, such as on a screen. However, the condition of digital does not amplify quality of the content. These are 5 characteristics: wide volume, editable, evaluation, transferability, interactivity, and hypertextuality. Educate in publication environment. Thinking about the digital world as an environment place, a student directly in an active place in the learning process in which highly productive information processing is required. A classroom with a computer is a classroom with a radio, a newscast, a television channel, a newspaper, etc. Computer can be used to film, to take photographs, edit images, insert them to a digital publication. Teaching with social networks. A social network is a set of interconnected nodes. Like one-to-one classroom is an open and multidirectional structure with the possibility of expanding and adding new nodes. It is very likely that young people habitually use network in leisure contexts, such as social network, gaming network, etc. For these reasons, it is important that from the school they are used with exchange referring to educational contexts, a problem that must be solved in a discussion to make a decision and carry out a project. Available and easy to use resources in digital environment and on the internet. The one-to-one equipment make it very convenient to use those devices without the need for installed or special equipment. They can be used in a constant, sustained, and intermittent way, and in all kinds of didactic sequence. These practices are common in the leisure context of adolescents and can be become motivating job for the classroom.
Computer function. Structured information of reality is presented. Instructive function. They guide the students' learning, facilitating the achievement of certain educational objectives. Motor function. Students are attracted to this type of material since the programs usually include elements to accept the attention of students and keep their interest. Evaluation function. It can be said that they offer final or explicit evaluation when the program presents a report on the student's performance. Research function. Many programs offer interesting environments to investigate, search for information, relay knowledge, draw conclusions, etc. Expressive function. Students can express themselves and communicate through the computer. Metalinguistic function. Students can learn the languages of computer science. Ludic function. The work with computers has in many cases confrontations for students. Innovative function. It involves using a technology recently incorporated into educational centers that allow for very diverse activities. Creative function. Relativity is related to the development of the senses with the promotion of the personal initiative and unfolding of the imagination. Teachers select software as they select other sources and teaching method based on their pedagogical concepts. Therefore, these have a great influence on how computers are integrated into educational practice. Computers are instruments that can be used with very different. The educational software. The function of the educational software will come determined by the characteristics and the use that is done to the same one, of its adaptation to the context and the organization of the teaching activities.
Advantage of the interaction of the text in the school. These facilitate communication between people regardless of their geographical location. The classroom is not enclosed in the four physical walls, and we can work, exchange information, and it easily communicate with other school, other teachers, other students from community, from the communities, and even from the country through exchange project. Access to a large amount of update information. The faculty can incorporate information on current events in the presentation of the topic. The student can search update information in the different media to complete and update the textbook information. Currently, the rapid obsolescence of the information makes update information stay of it is part of our life. Motivation of the student. The student feel motivated to work with technology in the fact they are the great users of the technology of our homes. In the center, we have to worry about providing multimedia information for which we need technology resources. Promote individualized learning. The student must not develop a mechanical learning, acquire knowledge exclusively in a receptive manner, only based on the teacher's expositions, but must be an active subject and protagonist of their own learning. It is necessary that the student learn to learn, since he will have to do it throughout his life permanently. Change in the role of teacher. The teacher must not only be a transmitter of knowledge, but must focus their work on authorizing and guiding the learning process of the student. The teacher must plan an open and flexible educational process using sources, current, variety, clear and motivating documentaries, using the cooperative and interactive methodology, and changing the dialogical learning with the subject with the student. Enhance the collaborative work. Through TICs, we can participate in learning communities and develop a collaborative work where everyone benefits from the knowledge of the rest of the participating members. Hence, intercultural education. TICs are fundamental resources to recognize other countries, their culture, their custom, their language, and respect them. Education in values. Education is an activity of international human interaction. Independent, we act in face-to-face or virtual context. It is regulated by values, ideas, and feeling. The TIC are a means to enhance education, promote and improve student learning, not the end of education. Education in media and information. An educational goal for the school should be the information of the children as critical users of the new technologies and of the culture around them that is produced and disseminated. Education for the society of the future. One of the goals of education is to promote equality of opportunity in technological competence among the students of the centers, independently of the economic resources of the families, to guarantee that every society advances and evolves technologically.